Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less. And if you are raising a gamer of the future, as I like to call kids, you are probably familiar with the publishing company Gamewright. They do a lot of really wonderful family games, and a couple of the favorites from their company, Rat-a-Tat Cat and Dragonwood, have follow-up sequel games that came out in the last few years that are truly excellent. Rat-a-Tat Cat is a very simple game that's essentially just a memory game with a twist where you have 4 cards face down in front of you and you get to switch them out with other cards. There's a few other specialty cards involved, and at the end you're trying to have the least points. And it's really simple. Kids like really simple games. They can understand it inside and out. It's okay to have some games that they play with some help, and okay, if I'm on your team, then you can figure out what to do for this. But it's nice to have some that they can do. They can play on their own with siblings, and this is one of those. It's based on the card game Golf. Well, Rat-a-Tat Roll came out in 2019, and it is Rat-a-Tat Cat plus a little bit of strategy. They have a board now, and the Statue of Liberty gets to move around, and you're rolling dice, and you have a bit more choice in what you are choosing to go for. And you still have where you get to sneak a peek or you get to trade cards with somebody, but it seems like it happens more often that you get the specialty moves and you have more control over it. There's a hot air balloon token that you can get that allow you to re-roll the dice, and there's even a specialty die that allows you to collect a lower card, and it really helps. So I, as a parent, am really happy to have something to segue into that has a bit more going on, and this one just does it so well while retaining the heart and the fun of Rat-a-Tat Cat. Dragonwood, I was surprised when I looked this up. It only came out in 2015 is when it was first published, and it seems like it has become just standard in a lot of people's game collections, especially with kids, and you can see why. The theme is on point. It's fantasy, and you're just rolling dice, and it's basically collecting sets, runs, or cards of the same color that allow you to do different kinds of attacks to collect these creature cards, and you're just trying to get the most points at the end of the game. So it's really simple, really satisfying to play. Well, then Dragonrealm came out in 2019, and this one, I would say, I would bring to an adult game night and nobody would bat an eye, because the gameplay in the field does not seem kid-like. And to me, it kind of feels along the lines of fantasy realms in terms of the level of difficulty and what you're doing, but it has a bit more going on. So like Dragonwood, you are still collecting cards that allow you to roll dice, but instead of collecting creatures, you have these location cards, and it's a bit more strategic because you're claiming a spot on the different location cards, and whoever gets the most spots on one of those cards gets like first prize and gets to collect the card, and then second prize gets a certain number of points. And they have, at least in our collection, my favorite meeples. The adventurer meeples are really fun for this, and there are also goblin meeples that kind of work as a chaos factor, which I enjoy, where if you flip over a goblin card, it will go on a different one of the location spots, and so it might mess with your plans where you were planning on rolling for this specific spot so you'd win the card, but then the goblin took it, so now you split the victory with the other player and you split the points. So it's just a nice level up while still being kid-friendly, but it's magical when it works for kids, but it also works for adults too. That is just the sweet spot that few games are really able to achieve, and this one does it so well. So that's it for me today. You can check out my YouTube channel and website for more content like this. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and back to the folks in the studio.